It's an impressive experience, personal experience. We are three of us are from Mexico. Silvana Ibarra, which is here, and also Alejandro Juarez, and myself. And also we are very committed to return to our countries and work very hard and with a lot of energy with integrated lake management. Well, today briefly I'm going to talk about Mexican Watershed Network. It's a proposal to work on the integrated management lakes of Mexico. So myself, I am Eduardo Ríos Patrón. I am the co-coordinator of this Watershed Network in Mexico, which was created in 2007 as a result of the National Congress of Integrated Management, Watershed Management. And it was academic people and public servants and people involved in integrated watershed management that believe that working in a network approach would be good for promoting public policies in an integrated way. Well, so in these few minutes I'm going to describe the strengths and opportunities to promote integrated lake basin management with a network focus through the Mexican Watershed Network. You can see there a beautiful photograph of Lake Huitzeo in Michoacán and Guanajuato state. Mexico has 32 states, more than 2,500 municipalities. And this one is a very complex lake. It's the second largest lake in Mexico. And now, as you can see, it's crossed side by side by a road that has made a very environmental impact in the hydrological circulation of the lake. Well, so that's what I'm going to describe. The structure of my brief presentation is going to be three parts. First, I'm going to describe also briefly Mexico, its lakes and watersheds. I'm going to overview it and try to clarify the challenges that has Mexico because of its size, because of the diversity, and the challenges that Mexico has in watershed management and its lakes. And then I'm going to speak about the network approach, the network focus, its importance for us to work in a network, and also the disadvantages of working with that and the challenges. Then I'm going to talk about specifically of the case of Mexican Watershed Network, and finally we're going to talk about a project which is the working group of lakes in Mexico. Well, first of all, Mexico is a very big country. It has 1.9 million square kilometers. It has 1,471 watersheds. Some of them very small, like in California, California's peninsula, like here. They are very small watersheds, and very big, large watersheds that are, for example, Rio Bravo's watershed with United States and Mexico, or the Usumacinta's watershed, or the Lerma Chapala's watershed, or the Rio Balsa's watershed. So they are very big or very small. Or for example, this one here are the Lake Siragüen, which is only one municipality and only one state. But Chapala's lakes, there are 5 states, and all the problems that Alejandro Juarez explained to you. Well, we have 366,000 kilometers of rivers and streams. Imagine the complexity. 653 aquifers with 115 overexploited, principally in the center of Mexico. because the population is gathered here principally, because there is Mexico City and Mexico State, and it's the industrial corridor, and it has a lot of pressures there. And also Mexico has great regional differences, cultural, economically. In the north of Mexico we have desert, and in the south we have sylvatic ecosystems. We have in the center we have template ecosystems, forests, or we have karstic ecosystems here, a lake, watersheds, and also a very complex cultural region also. So that's why this is the context. And lakes, we have Lake Chapala, we have the largest lake in Mexico, Lake Huitzeo, the second largest, and another lakes like Catemaco's lakes, or like Pascual Lake, or like Veracruz, Catemaco, or like Sirawen Lake, or a lot of lakes here in the north part. So, first of all, we discovered that we have to diagnose well how are our lakes. Well, challenges of integrated lake basin management in Mexico. You can see another beautiful photograph, for example. This is change of forest land use to avocado orchards in the Lake Sirawen Basin in Michoacán State. This is a photograph where you can see the change of landscape from avocado orchards, and the forest is gone, and all the pesticides are used there. And Lake Sirawen is a very beautiful lake that now it has a lot of problems involved. Well, some of the challenges we see are, for example, the first one is to guarantee the human right to water. Mexico is constitutionally has been written the human right water in the fourth article of the Constitution, but it is not well expressed in the regulations, in the general water regulation, to have access to sanitation and use of domestic water for all. So this is a very important challenge. Another is to reduce environmental conflicts in watersheds. Mexico has more than 80 or 100. I don't have exactly. There's somebody who is counting the environmental conflicts. Evaluate watershed integrity is another important aspect. Rehabilitate rivers and lakes to improve human health and develop governance. What is the importance of network approach? Well, first of all, as you know, lakes and their basins are complex systems, very complex systems sometimes, very unique systems. And to understand the dynamics, multidisciplinary work is required, and also transdisciplinary, says the academics. This is to involve people, which is the users of the land resources. Relationships and interaction between multiple stakeholders could generate synergies to solve specific problems. There must be communications to disseminate, discuss, and establish concepts and principles. This is the collective knowledge. So a network enables compliance with these aspects. One example that is very explained by Alejandro Juarez is the Lake Chapala network approach, a regional network that he has been worked for a lot of years, creating the ILBM platform there, and making long-term partnership, and making linkages between scientific knowledge and decision makers, and increase awareness. So, as Alejandro Juarez is working in that regional watershed, and specifically in that lake, we think that in Mexico we need to push better in a national approach this integrated management of lakes. So what is Remexcu? What is the Mexican Watershed Network? We are a group of people, organizations, and institutions through continuous, systematic, organized, and innovative interactions among its members, strengthen the process of integrated watershed management and contribute to the generation of synergies, capacity building, and the insertion of the basin approach in decision making in Mexico. This was made in our first strategy of strengthening the Mexican Watershed Network in 2011. Now we are in another moment of the network, which is the development stage. So, which are the guiding axes? First of all, we are disseminating and communicating information about integrated watershed management. We have a series of watershed management for all people to understand the basic concepts from watershed, rivers, climate change and adaptation, soil management, ecosystem services, risk and watershed, economic aspects, and now, as I'm going to show, we have finished our first book of lake management and watershed. So the second one is the generation of synergies, linkage, and coordination and collaboration. The third is strengthening technical capacities in integrated watershed management. The fourth is systematization of national information on integrated watershed management. So to do this, all these four guiding axes, we've been working in all of them, principally in the last 3 years. We've been working very hard, and it's important to know that it's we've been working in a voluntary manner. We don't receive any payment, and we are doing this. My job is, I work in the Minister of Environment, in the Federal Minister of Environment, and I do this voluntarily. Also my other colleague, which is from the World Wild Fund, is my other colleague. And now, since 2017, we have, the first time we have, in 2017 we have money in a project called Mexican Watershed Network, a platform for collaboration and exchange of experience, to pay to people to make all the data of the members, etc. So what have we done? Well, we have 226 active members and 650 members, but 226 are active. But not only that, we have strong collaboration with two thematic networks, which has money from science and technology institutions, and we have plans and programs together. And also we are working with National Polytechnic Institution and with the Master Degree of Integrated Watershed Management of the University of Querétaro. And we are Cercadesu Semarnat, which is the part of the Federal Minister of Environment, is helping us with all the material we are working. Well, finally, I'm going to finish my presentation telling about what we are doing with lakes. So we are from March to now. March, it was a regional forum for rehabilitation of rivers and lakes of Mexico. We made a declaration for clean and healthy rivers and lakes of Mexico. ILEC participated in that forum. So since March of this week, we have formed a working group which has the objective to promote research and management of lakes and other lentic water bodies in Mexico, from the basin management approach to advance knowledge in their current conditions and promote their sustainable management through the systematization and analysis of information improvement of governance, dissemination, and of results and preparation of public policies. So we have launched communication and information tools in our website, and we have made the first publication of lakes and their watershed, building the governance. Where you can see now, this is the logo of Lake, which is over there, and all the institution that has worked in this publication that is going to be nationwide distributed. We have distributed our works in more than 80,000 copies. So this one, we think it could have like 10,000 or 15,000. And it's going to be distributed all over Mexico. And finally, which are the future perspectives? National diagnosis of Mexican lakes. There is a gap of knowing perfectly how many lakes, how are the lakes, where are the lakes, what type of lakes are, and who are working in the lakes. So with this network approach, we can do that. Consolidate the national working group. This national working group is being led by Alejandro Juarez. He's a member of the network, and he is the leader group of this working group of the Remexcu. So it's going to be consolidated through the 2020 Congress, World Lake Congress that is going to be held in Mexico. And finally, is integrate more Mexican lake cases and regional networks, impact on ILBM approach in Mexico and Latin America. So thank you very much. Sorry for 2 minutes. Well, we are from Remexcu Coordination Group, myself, Eduardo Ríos Patrón, my colleague and friend Ignacio Daniel González Mora, also the colleagues Raúl Vera Alejandre, Arnold Landa Villa, Guillermo Condonco Delgadillo, and from the working group, Lakes and its Watershed, the group leader is Alejandro Juarez Aguilar. There is all the Twitter, and the page, and the Facebook, and all that to be in contact.
Thank you very much. You have a very exciting network. I want to receive only one question or comment. I'm sorry, we have no time. Anyone? It's okay? Okay, so
If somebody wants information, we have
if you want
in English, in Spanish, and for your books also.
Okay, thank you very much.